Now this is the biggest, most important pear shape in the world. It's over 200 carats. The world is chasing it.
My father started in the diamond business because one of his friend's fathers was from Antwerp, and his mom got him an apprenticeship working in this diamond factory. And my father would always say that he was a horrible cutter, that he was all thumbs. He would burn stones all the time, but this was like his mother wanted to find him a way to make a living. And so that's kind of like how he got into the diamond business.
And I think that was from his mother's loan. He started to buy small stones. The main area my father wanted me in at the time was buying rough. So I was going to Antwerp every month, London. Spent a couple of weeks once in Sierra Leone, out in the mines. So that was my training, started that way, and then it evolved into buying, selling.
And I started doing things that Saul was doing. He and I traveled to Hong Kong initially. He was showing me the ropes how to sell. Because we were mainly, back then, we were mainly more of a loose stone house. We weren't really into jewelry. And then eventually got into more involved with buying rough, working with the factory.
We're one of the very few diamond factories that are left in New York City. When my dad was around, we had 10 or 12 guys in the factory here, and it was buzzing. I mean, it was always going, and that was my father's happy place. No one even knew what branding was, and I feel like my father was one of the original people in the diamond industry who branded himself, who branded the company, William Goldberg. The first thing that put us on the map was the Premier Rose, which was I think that was back in the 80s, and that was a 137 carat, at the time, I believe, was the biggest deep flawless that had been cut. That was like his legacy, was just always wanting everything to be the best and the most beautiful. He was definitely a perfectionist. He just kind of changed 47th Street at the time. He really uplifted it and was very, just well respected, and everybody on the street always knew who my father was. He was the president of the Diamond Dealers Club, which was a very relevant organization for many years. He changed a lot in the industry. First of all, women were not allowed to be members of the Diamond Dealers Club. The only way they got to be members was if their husband passed away who was a member, and then they were allowed. When he passed away, they kind of came to us, Senator Schumer is a friend of our family, and we talked about it, and he said, we'd like to name the street, in your dad's honor. And we're like, we can never move, that's the only problem. Well, my mom, she's amazing. She turned 90 this year. She used to be the CFO. I mean, she was my father's right hand. So she was always right by his side. If you ask her, Mrs. Goldberg, do you go to work? She'll say, I don't go to work, I go to the office.
I'd say my biggest passion now has become just growing this Ashoka brand that my grandfather started, and my dad and my uncle and my aunt have been so passionate about it. Now to be involved in that, and we're in New Zealand, we're in China, we're in Hong Kong, we became big in America, we're in the UK, Germany, Switzerland. So it's just, there's always the goal. We haven't even come close to scratching the surface of what we think this Ashoka diamond could be.
Okay, there was one original Ashoka diamond, which was a 31 carat deep flawless Golconda stone. So the Ashoka Cut is an elongated cushion cut with rounded corners. It's got the same number of facets as a round stone does. It was named for a Buddhist warrior, and we all fell in love with this cut. And we did a lot of research and development, and we modernized it a little bit, so it's got beautiful life. We recreate the Ashoka. It's something that only we can cut. You can't find anywhere else, so it's really very recognizable as William Goldberg. This is an Ashoka choke. Ashoka choke, I love the way that sounds. So it's really amazing. And this also can turn into a bracelet. These pieces come off, and it becomes a very unique, very cool bracelet. People would come in and say, yeah, I'm going to the bank and I'm going to get my necklace out of the vault. And he's like, why is it there? You should be wearing it. It's like once a year I take it out and wear it. And my father would go crazy. He would say, jewelry is meant to be worn. He never believed in jewelry only for investment.
It's always been used as an investment because people like to have mobile wealth. the diamonds have always been that way. So we don't push diamonds as an investment.
But they should also be enjoyed and appreciated. And there are a lot of designers out there today who are creating really cool look. It's the only word I can use. It's like making diamonds cool, making them, more fashionable and modern looking and wearable.
Ben's energy and enthusiasm for the industry in the way it is today is contagious, and it's great.
Diamonds have been such a big part of my life. It's like, it wasn't just in the office. It was, we'd come home on the weekends, we'd have Friday night dinner as a family, my parents, my grandparents, and they'd be talking about diamonds. I feel very fortunate to be the third generation that had an opportunity to come into this business and to carry on the legacy of my grandfather, which was diamonds, 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 and just keep going.